From the magical island of Morea, I'm Megan Black. Evening Magazine starts now.
More Evening in Paradise from Moorea and Bora Bora.
I'm St. Brian in Bora Bora with the story of a top-secret World War II operation and how it inspired a novelist from Seattle.
Then, discover the stunning island of Moorea, from ancient ruins to a garden that grows vanilla that's definitely not artificial. And visit a Morea hospital, helping endangered sea turtles.
She seems strong. Yeah, this one is strong.
In Seattle, it's a salute to our favorite Oscar snubs. And a business in Ballard making shoes for Lady Gaga. It's Evening Magazine for Tuesday, February 12th.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to the show tonight as we continue our adventure in French Polynesia. Tonight, I am on the island of Morea, the magical island. And you know what? It just doesn't take long to figure out why they call it that. We're at one of their public beaches. Can you believe it? But not only that, take a look. Howard showed them up over here. All of a sudden, out of the middle of the island jets this enormous volcano, a tropical rainforest look. The contrast is absolutely amazing. Morea is just a 30-minute ferry ride away from the island of Tahiti, and because of its incredible beauty, it is a go-to spot for Tahitians and international travelers alike. This entire region relies heavily on American tourists. In fact, many have said without them, many of the resorts simply would not exist. Well, the U.S. has a very rich history here, and we sent St. Brian out to explore Bora Bora and its role in World War II. Sounds interesting, Saint.
Hey, Megan, isn't it strange to see these huge guns in paradise? They're part of Operation Bobcat, which kept Allied forces supplied in the South Pacific, and more than 60 years later, inspired a novel by a best-selling author from Seattle.
I had been dreaming of sandy beaches and coconut palms.
When Sarah Gio began writing The Bungalow, a novel set in Bora Bora during World War II, she had two things going for her. She knew the setting.
My husband and I honeymooned there in 2001.
And she owned a journal kept by her great-uncle Mike when he was stationed in the South Pacific.
Broke my own fever by sweating it out, although I haven't even been given an aspirin.
More than 5,000 GIs spent at least a part of World War II turning Bora Bora, the pearl of the Pacific, into the most important gas station in American history.
They need a place to refuel, and before Bora Bora, there is only ocean and ocean and ocean, thousands of miles.
Tons of heavy equipment landed at this one point.
Codenamed Bobcat, the Bora Bora base was selected for its central location and deep lagoon, which could offer as many as 100 U.S. Navy transports a safe place to anchor and refuel. Safe because there's only one way to get into the island, through an easily guarded pass. To find out how American troops guarded that pass, we hitch a bumpy ride with Cyril of Tupana Safari.
You'll notice that I'm not talking to Cy right now. I don't want him to be distracted from what is supposed to be a road.
After 10 teeth-rattling minutes, we reach a ridge where two enormous naval guns look out over Tiavanui Pass.
Here on Bora Bora, those cannon can shoot over 6 miles, so like 6 miles to 10 miles far.
6 to 10 miles, nice range.
Yeah.
GIs hauled the big guns up here to defend Bora Bora from a Japanese attack. It never happened. Somehow, without the Japanese ever catching on, the Americans also built an airport, the road that encircles the island, a hospital, schools, generators, and more than 30 supply bunkers.
And on the island, there is many of them all around the island.
I'm guessing there's not much to see inside.
No.
This one still serves as an evacuation shelter during major storms.
So the wind here can, like when you have a storm, it can go over 100 miles an hour. So it's terrible.
Rust is now reclaiming these relics of American history. And so is the sea. All that is left of the old American wharf are concrete pylons and rotting wood. However, the GIs did leave something else behind. More than 150 babies.
We call them here the hut. because they are half American, half Tahitian.
And now those halves have grandchildren here.
Yes, and have blue eyes, green eyes.
Perhaps another story for Sarah Gio to tell. She does want to go back, but for now, thousands of miles away, she only needs to read her own novel to recall a place that holds her heart, to remember the sound of the waves.
I could hear them, their violent crash, followed by the fizz of a million bubbles kissing the sand.
For a taste of modern-day Bora Bora, you can visit the village of Vaitape.
Just about every offshore resort offers a boat shuttle to the village, this one arriving around lunchtime. Here, just a block from the Protestant church, Bora Borans use their break for an afternoon game of pétanque. A woman operates a drive-up fruit stand in front of her house where she sells mangoes, breadfruit, bananas, and what looks like passion fruit. Across the street, another woman shows off a baguette, purchased at a roulade.
Is it good?
Yes, it's good.
While at the resort, you are constantly greeted with Yorana. When you visit the village, somebody might just say hey to you and throw a shaka sign. So Megan, hey.
Hey, Sate. I do like Yorana, though. There's just something a little more exotic about that.
Still to come tonight on Evening Magazine, great Oscar snubs, and why Lady Gaga wears these Seattle shoes. And later, rescuing sea turtles in paradise.
If you want to make a good impression with the locals, learn a few words in Tahitian. Just be warned, they really like their vowels here.
I orana.
Or Anna. I or Anna. So it's I or Anna. I or Anna. Yorana. That would mean like welcome. Welcome. No. They can welcome I and Anna. I or Anna. Maruru.
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 I'm gonna go with thank you. Maruru. Maybe. Manuiai.
Manuia.
Like Manuel? Like God is with us? Manuia. Nana. Nana. I'm gonna go with bananas.
Nana.
Nana. Goodbye.
Nana.
Nana. Goodbye. Nana. Nana. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
Welcome back to Evening Magazine from Moorea Island. We have journeyed up about 1,200 feet to Belvedere Point, the most famous lookout here on Morea. Absolutely stunning. But take a look at what we discovered on our way up. This is the Opunahu Valley Archaeology Site with incredible ancient temples, archery platforms, and all kinds of paths restored for youngsters and visitors to explore Tahitian heritage. It is all simply amazing. I think I'm going to enjoy a little bit more of the viewpoint. We're going to send it back to Seattle and Jim. What do you think of that, Jim?
Cool. Thanks for showing us around Morea, Megan. I'm looking forward to lots more of that. Right now, though, from Seattle's exotic Capitol Hill neighborhood, I want to tell you about an event that's happening this Sunday. It involves a lot of sitting indoors, eating a lot of popcorn, and watching movies. Sounds challenging? It is the Oscar Snubs Movie Marathon presented by SIF. It's movies that should have won the Oscars, but never did. Every year when the Oscars are handed out,
the Oscar goes to
somebody's sitting in the audience feeling snubbed. No thanks to the Academy.
You know, there's always those few films every year when I watch the Academy Awards that lose, where you're just like, no, how could you?
Clinton McClung, program director at SIF, is righting that wrong by showing a mix of movies that should have won but didn't.
Well, there are a lot of different reasons why a movie would get snubbed. A controversial film, like Do the Right Thing, it might have been a little bit before its time.
Hi. Spike Lee's successful and controversial film got few nominations in 1989.
doing, Miss Daisy?
Instead, Driving Miss Daisy swept the awards.
Not that it wasn't deserving, it was a good film, but to have such a polemic difference in the same year was just sort of an indication that Academy voters weren't quite ready to go the Spike Lee route.
The winds grow colder.
The Academy didn't seem ready for Judy Garland's comeback performance in A Star is Born either.
She had been out of the film scene for about since 1950.
Night and day.
By everyone's opinion, she nailed that role.
Even so, in 1954, the Oscar went to good girl Grace Kelly.
You can't believe that, can you?
Judy was not happy.
She didn't win that award and was sent into a tailspin again and didn't appear on screen for another 7 years.
Joining Judy in the snub club is William H. Macy.
Oh, geez, it's terrible.
Overlooked for his role in Fargo.
Oh, geez.
Fargo was a pretty famous snub.
Many critics say money talked in 1996.
Show me the money.
Earning Cuba Gooding Jr. the Oscar instead of Macy.
They just didn't have the marketing money and the push to really do a Best Supporting Actor campaign.
Whether it's all about the money, politics, or playing favorites, one thing's for sure. When Oscar time rolls around,
Who are you people?
somebody's gonna feel snubbed. You can see all of those snubbed movies one after the other, including a secret snub on Sunday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Just get your tickets at the SIFF box office. All right, but in the meantime, Kim Holcomb has some big news about a small business. Kimmy.
Remember our story about Hourglass, the small business in Ballard making hand-painted heels? They just fulfilled their biggest order yet, a pair of extra-tall platforms commissioned for the one and only Lady Gaga. She's the queen bee to her adoring fans, so the heels depict a honeycomb with swarming bees. Hourglass co-founders Kira and Lisa traveled to Minneapolis last week to deliver the shoes, their most famous works of art yet.
Thanks, Kim, and congratulations to Hourglass. Now back to Megan on the island of Morea. Looks like hard duty there, Megan, with that view and all.
Absolutely, Jim. Tough job we have going on here. Thanks so much. Right now, I'd like to bring in our wonderful guide, Tina Messonnier. Hi, Tina.
Hi, Megan.
Thank you for bringing us up here. This is gorgeous. Can you tell me a little bit more about the area and this viewpoint here in Morea?
Yes, this Belvedere lookout point overlook the two bays of Morea, which are fabulous, as you can see, with the main peak, the Rotary Mountain.
This is fabulous, Tina. Thank you so much, but we're not done yet, right?
No.
More exploring to come.
Just ahead tonight, a one-of-a-kind hospital that saves sea turtles and a garden with an incredible view.
Welcome back to Evening Magazine from Moorea Island in French Polynesia. We've moved on to the Morea Tropical Garden. The Ixora is this red flower behind me, Monette, the yellow in the back. Even the names sound exotic. We're going to learn a little bit more about the flora of French Polynesia because it's all so darn interesting and beautiful. But take a quick look at the view that you have from here. Absolutely spectacular. Big old cruise ship has just moved in for the day as well. Back down at sea level, Morea is home to one very special hospital, and Saint is checking in there. Hey, Saint.
That's right, Megan. This is a hospital for injured sea turtles.
Business dress is flip-flop casual for Marc Besson, a French college student who knows just how lucky he is.
Yeah, it's one of the best internships in the world, I think.
This biology major feeds and cares for rescued sea turtles for a nonprofit foundation whose Tahitian name means Spirit of the Ocean.
Here we have some turtles that were injured, wounded, mostly by humans, and we are trying to make them in better health to help them recover from these injuries.
Most of Mark's work takes place outside, in a lagoon the Intercontinental Resort has set aside for turtles.
She seems strong. Yeah, this one is strong.
But this green turtle needs another year to grow big enough for release. For now, she's hand-fed, something that won't last much longer.
If anytime she sees a human, she came to take some food, she will be fish and hunted very fast after the release.
Mark's most challenging job is probably feeding this older sea turtle. And it's not because she's a picky eater.
The problem is bird. All birds here know me.
Mark is also popular among the lagoon's fish.
It's a real race between turtles, birds, and fishes.
Oh, look at the eels out there too. So how good have you gotten at throwing that fish in just the right place so your turtle gets it and nobody else does?
I can throw food very precisely to a plate, but sometimes the problem is the turtle.
Turtles just can't react at even half the speed of a plunge diving turn. But eventually,
she got it.
While she may soon be released, there are other turtles who will never get out of this lagoon. This one was blinded by a spear.
Not eating.
Not eating today.
And since she was hit by a boat propeller, this 40-year-old hawksbill can only float like a buoy on the surface.
What can we do with that?
She, too, must battle the fish for every meal she receives.
It's a shame because it's not really a turtle life.
Maybe not a turtle's life, but public awareness is picking up all over Polynesia. A new luxury eco-resort opening this year on Marlon Brando's old atoll promises to provide protection for nesting sea turtles and their offspring. For every 1,000 eggs, only one turtle will reach adult age.
Only one will be an adult one day.
Saving generations of an endangered species looks good on a resume, but even more, it makes this intern feel good about his year far from home.
It's a good feeling. You know that you've done your job.
Thank you, Saint. I'm glad someone is looking after those turtles. Well, we are here at the Moorea Tropical Garden where, yes, they have beautiful flowers and foliage, but they're also growing something else. Any ideas what this is? Have you ever seen a garden with a view like this? The Moorea Tropical Garden has been blooming on this hill overlooking Opanahu Bay for the past 5 years, growing exotic flowers and the second most expensive spice in the world, Tahitian vanilla. Garden owner Luana Mahu loves to show off her vanilla to curious guests. And yes, it's all organic.
Eh bien, parce que the question of choosing organic products was not a question at all, because Tahitian people, they do organic from the ancient times to nowadays.
Of course, we usually find this flavoring on the supermarket shelf, but it actually starts out as an orchid. It flowers for just 1 day and must be hand-pollinated to make a bean. Tell me about the vanilla and how special is vanilla?
Alors, déjà sa fleur, elle est très belle. So vanilla is so special to Luana because first she loves the flower. It's a beautiful flower. It's from the family of the Orchidae family, and one flower gives one bean.
Anyone is invited to visit Luana's garden to see what real vanilla looks like. And you'll be pleasantly surprised because vanilla isn't the only wonderfully tropical thing here. This is tiare, the national flower of French Polynesia. As Luana shows me around, it's obvious she's got the South Seas version of a green thumb. I just wish I had giant clamshells and a coconut husk for my border. Visitors can buy homemade jam and, of course, vanilla beans. And they all bring home an appreciation for the fertile beauty of Morea Island.
I love the land, the Finwa, we say in Tahitian, Finwa, the land. I always look after my grandparents who show me the way, and that's why I decided to realize this dream.
Nothing like a little vanilla in its purest form. And I have to tell you, it doesn't smell anything like the stuff you get at the supermarket. Fabulous.
We'll be back with more Evening Magazine from magical Morea in just a moment. Coming up tomorrow night on Evening Magazine. More Evening in Paradise as we visit Tahiti. From the public market to Tahitian food trucks that truly have everything. Sample all kinds of French Polynesian fare.
I'm St. Brian in Paia, Tahiti, with the story of why a Seattle woman feels compelled to return here year after year after year.
And in Seattle,
I'm Kim Holcomb in Fremont at an experimental brewery that's new to the neighborhood.
You too can be naked and alone in this dark metal box. I'm Michael King in Greenwood. Find out why that's a good thing.
What a phenomenal day we have had here on the island of Morea. Taina, thank you so much for your hospitality.
You're welcome, Megan.
It is so beautiful sitting here at a beachside restaurant. Look at my view. This is great.
Yes, this is great. So that's why you have to come back.
If you invite me, I will.
Of course I invite you.
Gladly. Thank you so much.
Say Manuya.
Manuya. Cheers, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. We are taking that fast catamaran over to the island of Tahiti. We'll see you there tomorrow night.
Airfare provided by Air Tahiti Nui. Production assistance provided by Tahiti Tourism. Accommodations provided by the Intercontinental Morea.